Hey, how's it going? I wanted to show off my banknote collection. And here I just have it in a little binder. Made this myself. Not too hard. So, I have an alphabetical order, and for every country, even though Antarctica is in a country. Made these on Google Sheets. Wasn't too difficult. It's a little time consuming. But I have these fake banknotes. This is Antarctica, even though no one technically owns the land of Antarctica. There's a company that made these fake banknotes, and they will sell them for their stated value. You know, they'll try to sell them for $3. I buy all my banknotes, almost all of them, on eBay. And once in a while you can get them cheaper for their stated value. But they just look pretty. So, figured if I'm gonna collect banknotes, I might as well get some stuff that looks nice. And they got a lot of famous explorers. And then starting on my real countries, we got Argentina. Relatively cheap set of banknotes. Most of these are pretty cheap ones that I'm starting off with, and then every now and then move on to more expensive countries. These are Bahamas. I got these, I went to Bahamas, so I got these by asking around, exchanging, buying stuff, getting change. I probably will replace these though with some nicer crisp ones because they're just so beat up. They're not that eye appealing, but gotta start off the collection somehow. We got Belarus. Not the biggest fan of their notes. Got Canada. Canada's definitely one of my favorite countries to collect for now. I'm pretty much going from this 1957 series, or 54. This is starting from here and working my way to present. This was a special version because they had their centennial. So they have this centennial, got the year they became independent. They have this extra star, but there's a version without these extra features. Sort of matches this one. And of course it has the Queen. I think she's maybe still a teenager at this point. Maybe in the, yeah, it's 54, so this is right when she became Queen. And in the next version we have here, she's a little older, 1973. And we're still rocking the $1 and $2 banknotes here. Now she's more middle-aged. Got the 5. And then after this point, I believe there's a series or two in between that I'm missing. And then they drop the 1 and the 2. The 1 and the 2 are now in coins. And they also have polymer notes. So they have more of a slick feel. A lot more security features as they are modern. I do like the polymer notes. Let's see if we can pull this off the land. Here we go. And then we have this 10. This is a special 10. There is another version that sort of matches up with the alignment of these other ones. This is like a special year. And so I need a couple more. We have, this is Croatia. And I got this one at a coin show. It was pretty cheap, like at $2 or something. Like I said, you can get most banknotes online. Sometimes they're rare, sometimes they're harder to get. You might have to wait for a while for one to appear. Some of them are a lot of money, but you know, you can collect whatever your heart desires. Here we got some different ones. These are France. In World War II, if I'm not mistaken, they gave these out to soldiers after they liberated France from the Germans. These were like a temporary currency, and they give them out to use temporarily until they got their country back in order and started using their regular francs. I love how they're so tiny, very good for the wallet. Big fan of these ones. Here we got Hong Kong. So this one is polymer and this one's paper, but they're almost exactly the same. Mostly you're just gonna feel the difference. And this is from, I think, the Hong Kong Central Bank, I believe. But they only make one denomination. Now when you go higher, when you go to like 25s, 50s, 100s, they have 3 different issuing banks. And once I start collecting those, we'll go through them. But they have some of the best, in my opinion, banknotes. Here we got Iran. And in the US, these are difficult to get because the US sanctions Iran very heavily in almost every capacity, so you can't get these on eBay. I found a guy, I bought some banknotes and he sent me a free one. When you buy a lot of banknotes on eBay, you get freebies a lot of times, and he sent me an Iranian banknote. And then I messaged him and I asked, hey, you got any more of these Iranian ones? They're hard to get for me. And he was like, yeah, gave me a lot of different notes to choose from. I got all these for like 25 bucks pretty much. And some of them look like doubles, but the backs are different. So that's how I was able to acquire these ones. I got my own personal Iranian dealer. And that's the same for Cuba and North Korea. So for those, sometimes you can look on eBay and type in different things. If you just type in, like, these are reals, Iranian reals. So if you type in reals, sometimes you'll see reals and you won't see Iran, but you'll see it'll clearly be an Iranian bill. So that's how you can get them. But usually you have to kind of know somebody. And I think the US is cracking down on banknote collectors. Here we got Israeli shekel, and a really nice note. Big fan. I'll get more of these. They're just a little pricier than some others. We got the Italian ones, and these are the same ones as the French ones I showed you earlier. And a little better quality, like the colors. and you'll see Allied military currency. So these are really just primarily given out to the soldiers that liberated Italy in 1943, and I believe finished off in the 44, but they have more that I can collect too. And then of course, you know, Europe in general has a lot of currencies that are no longer around because the euro took over. So I'll be working on those prior euro ones as well. And here in North Korea, same thing. I found a guy who was selling a lot of banknotes in North Korea. It's funny, on the Korean ones, you'll find names like Upper Korea, Higher Korea. If you just type in Korea on eBay, you'll find ones that look like the ones you might be looking for. Sometimes they even say South Korea, and they're clearly North Korean notes, so. But they're very cheap. The only ones that are a little bit pricier are the more modern ones, and they're still not even that expensive. You get most of these notes for nothing. Kyrgyzstan. These are some older ones. I do like the smaller squares that some of these countries run with. More Kyrgyzstan. These are more current ones. And then here we got Laos. And Laos is one of the countries, they start small and they get a little bit bigger with each denomination. So we get a little bigger, a little bigger. And then eventually they get to a point where they can't keep getting bigger, clearly. So they just kind of max out of the size. Also, a lot of these poor countries, they're going through inflation, so they get a little lazy. We got the same guy, a little bit different colors. At least the backs are different. And then they just keep coming out with higher denominations. Sometimes they redenominate and they'll change 100,000 one of these, turn it into some smaller denomination, and then try to keep it somewhat stable. Here we got Mexico. The Mexican notes are nice. They're a little shorter in height. They are a little thinner than most notes. Mexican notes aren't too bad. You can get a good amount of them for relatively cheap pesos, and some of their more not modern ones, of course, are more expensive. But I think they're switching to polymer. I don't have any of the modern ones, but at least the older ones, they do have varied designs and good colors. Moldova. Big fan of the Moldovan notes. And yeah, if anybody needs any resources or information how I did any of these things, just let me know. I'll fill you in. But these ones are pretty much the same, different backs, changing up the colors. I just like the designs though. This is Myanmar. It's weird, they have all the same designs except for this 50. And I would imagine it's because they have payas here, and then they call these something different. I cannot remember. Oh, kyat or yacht, who knows? But they do look pretty. I do like the design of whatever kind of I don't know if this is like a mythical creature or some sort of blending, maybe a dragonish tiger, but it's nice. These are cheap. So here we got some Netherlands and Gilder. Not sure how it's really said in English, but these are older. Now they use the euro, but I believe this is polymer. Yeah, it feels paper. But still got a lot more that are in the same series. I do love the design and the look of them. They just look very simple, but very European. Almost look kind of got more classical look to them. We got the pesos from the Philippines, and these are different notes. These are called victory notes. After World War II, the U.S. liberated the Philippines, and the Philippines at the time wasn't their own country. They were a territory under the U.S. The U.S. made their currency. So, made these notes, stamped on victory. So they're just like bragging that they beat the Japanese. Philippines has many series of notes that I will have to get to. Here we got Russia. I ordered these online. Picture was a little bit nicer than more deceiving online. So sometimes you'll run into that with these banknotes. They got Lenin on here, it looks like, and not the biggest fan of some of these. Some of the fonts are nice. These are definitely some of the more beat up notes I got. And then we have Sri Lanka. Kind of like these ones, very colorful. They got different birds on all of them. Very cheap. Take a look. We got one Syrian note because I got a freebie. Like I said, you get a lot of free banknotes when you order from these eBay dealers. And here we got Tajikistan. This is a Central Asian country. One of the many stands. Banknotes are not crazy special. I do like the backs. For some reason, the way this flag is highlighted, I do like the back. But similar to the Russian style banknotes here. And then we got a couple more the modern ones, closer modern ones. We got Turkey. This guy's eyebrows couldn't look more of an evildoer. Larasi. And Turkey at the moment is going through some inflation, not as bad as some of these other countries, but it's like, can range from 60 to 80, 90% a year. So just wait a couple more years and get some more cheapos. I got some more fake ones. These are fake US banknotes. It's hard to see, but they're thick. And they're polymer. Just saw these one day on a video and kind of liked them. Nice take on like a modern note that the US would possibly adopt. I doubt it, but the fronts are, some of them are the same. Got couple presidents. This is Jefferson, and the normal 10 is Hamilton. So change some things around. All presidents now, and they sort of represent the person. We got Liberty for Lincoln, the crest for, I think that's the crest. God We Trust. Washington, and then Jefferson's the White House. And then a different edition is Kennedy on the 20, which I really think is a good change. I wish we would adopt this. I think a lot of people nowadays would like to see Jackson replaced. Some may not, but good idea for the spaceman on the back. And we got USS Grant, so on the current 50 also. A little bit of American flag. I think that's a perfect representation for Grant, for the Northern General. We got BF here. A lot of Philly stuff in the back. Independence Hall, Liberty Bell. And we got some regular small notes here. My collection for the US notes is light, but we'll get there. There's a lot to choose from. We got the regular note one. We got a silver certificate, which back then you could exchange just $1 bill for $1 worth of silver. Can't do that anymore. And then here's some different varieties. We got these pretty ones, blue seal on the right. In the back, we got the regular modern backs, and then we got something called the funny back. Up here, we got a note. It's called a large note, clearly. It's a solid amount bigger than the current size. And they did this for a few reasons. It was a cost thing, cheaper, you know, less paper, less ink to make a smaller note. Also, you know, people could fit more in their wallets. People were using more paper money. So all the notes before here, if I'm not mistaken, it was, this is 23. Anything before these 20s, they were all large. And then after those years, started getting small. So this is the cheapest large note you can get. I think I might have got this one for, I don't know, 40, 50 bucks or something. And I got a sweet deal. I think I might have actually got this cheaper, but it was cheaper because this little cut in the corner, got a little discount. I like these backs. And then we got the twos. I think I got all the small twos. Just got a red seal on the left, red seal on the right. Got the two. So not much variety. The backs are a little different. We got Monticello. You can visit this in Virginia still. And up here we got Founding Fathers making some declaration action there. And we got the fives. Got some red seals, left, right, blue seal, blue five, more silver certificates. Backs are all the same. Nowadays we run the Federal Reserve notes. And Alexander Hamilton wasn't a president, Secretary Treasurer, Revolutionary War hero, Treasury. And here we got the lime green seal. So you can collect a lime green seal for many different denominations. If you look at this darker green, got the light green. And then there's different shadings. They can go from this dark to this lime green. This is a regular 20, but you can also get the lime green with the 20, which I'll get someday. That's my collection of the US notes. So here we got Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan has some very pretty banknotes. Big fan of theirs. I mean, these designs are just something. They're really cheap. And then here, got wonderful colors. And these are the easiest, cheapest banknotes you can find. These are Venezuela. Venezuela has some rampant inflation. I guess it would make more sense maybe if I flip these to make the backs look better. Not sure, but if you want to get Venezuela notes, you can get them a dime a dozen. You can get stacks for pennies, and you know, they stay nice sometimes, but at certain points they get lazy, and you know, they recycle a lot of the faces. Some of them are still pretty though, but you know, these numbers, they go on Bolivares, and they just keep redenominating, you know. They just they had 20,000 of these, and they take off a bunch of zeros, and inflation, they just keep printing out new dollars, new banknotes, really. And their inflation is still, hasn't been under control in a long time. I think this is my favorite, little rainbow action here. But here they start getting a little lazy. Change the face, change the number. Same back. Change the face, change the number. And they got more now, but we'll just wait till inflation keeps doing its thing, and we'll get them cheap. We got a little Vietnam. This is a freebie. Just got one for now. We got Yugoslavia. This is a former country from the Balkans. Yugoslavia now makes up a lot of countries: Croatia, Serbia, Montenegro, North Macedonia, Kosovo. I think I'm missing one or two. But that's about it. That's all I got. Hope you liked it. We'll be adding on to it soon.